Hi all, welcome to session 29 of Azure Data Factory, and we were discussing get metadata activity in detail. So far we have covered most of the properties. The last one that is pre-built in get metadata is last modified date. So last modified date timestamp can be of a folder or of a file. So you can use this property to find out when was the last time the folder was created or modified, or when was the last time the file was created or modified. Okay, so that particular value you can get from the last modified property. Okay, so let's do a quick hands-on to get to know how to use that property, how to fetch it. So I'm going into my Azure portal, and in here I am going to open my Azure Data Factory Studio. Fine. So let me open this, and in the meantime, let me go and check if I have required data set to work on my pipeline. So right now I have source sync and delete log. In source, if you see, I have a file known as sales.csv. And if you want to get this modified property, so it's like when you are first inserting this, your created date will be coming here, and after that, suppose you upload a new version of the same file, then it is going to give you the modified date. Okay, so let's just go into author tab, and in here let me just clone the last pipeline that we have created, that is content md5. Okay, so for this I will just clone this pipeline. I'm going to say last modified. Okay, and here I'm going to say get last modified date of delimited file. Okay, here everything is going to be the same. Okay, there will be no change, and this way I'm also showing how you can reuse the existing pipeline and do a minimum change in order to achieve your goals. Okay, so here I am just going to change the content md5 with last modified. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. And right now I'm looking only for the sales.csv. I will also show you how to do it for folders, but right now let's go simple and let's only check for the sales.csv. Okay, so I have picked last modified here. Since I have changed the name of the activity here, your set variable, when you go and check in the value, it is going to throw you this error. Okay, so I'm going to remove everything and I'm going to start from scratch. So if you go down, you will find last modified property. Okay, so you have to check it and you have to publish it in order to save your changes. Okay, there is a neat way to do that without doing publish, and that is using git repo. We will see that in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so as you can see, our pipeline is now ready for the execution. Let me trigger the pipeline. The pipeline has been triggered. Let me go to my pipeline run, and as you can see, the first activity is already done and we are done with our pipeline. Okay, so if you see, this is the value that we are getting. I didn't change the name of the variable, so that is why it is giving you the same name as as before. You can change the name, that's not a problem, but you have now got the value of your last modified date for the file. And if you go into your source, you see it was modified on 5th of March at 8:30 a.m. Okay, right now if you see, it is giving you 5th of March 3 a.m. Okay, so here the time zone is different, and because of that it is giving you the different timestamp. Okay, so let's see the last modified timestamp. So there is a default timestamp. I think it is UTC, but let me just double check. Okay, so here if you come down, you can check the type properties. In the type properties you have metadata options and you have last modified date. Okay, so will get the last modified date time, and I'm very sure it is UTC. So let me just go and check 8:30 a.m. IST to UTC. Yeah, so as you can see, it's 3 a.m. in the UTC, and that is what we are getting. So it's around 3 a.m. in UTC. Okay, so similarly, you can do it for the folder. Now let's go and here let me just change the data set. So instead of using file here, I think let me go back and let me change the data set. Let me open it. Okay, so I'm just going to use variable input. Okay, and right now if you see, I don't have anything here. Okay, so let's keep it this way and let's see what happens. Okay, so here I'm just keeping binary 1, and it is going to give me the last modified date for this folder. Okay, and I'm going to just do a debug. I'm not going to save it, so that is why I'm not publishing it. Succeeded. Last modified was 15th of Feb 2024, 9:90:24 UTC. Okay, so even though if you are not able to see it here, you will definitely get the data in it. So let me just see if I can give you the properties. Yeah, so as you can see, your last modified date is coming from here. Okay, so this is how you use last modified property to get the last modified date timestamp in Azure Data Factory for your file and folder. Remember, your timestamp is going to be in the UTC time zone. Okay, so try to make your pipeline compatible with that. And with this, we have completed all the built-in properties of get metadata activity. And after this, I'm going to go into the last part, that is the add dynamic content option. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting session, so we are going to cover this in the next session, that is in session 13. So stay tuned, and please like, share and subscribe. If you like my video, please provide your feedback so that I can improve on my existing content. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, and let's meet in the next session.